Imagine running the Boston Marathon, one of the most prestigious races in the world. You've trained for months, pushing your body to its limits to prepare for this moment. You fought through fatigue, pain, and doubt to make it to the finish line. And then you find out that someone has cheated their way to victory. This was the case for the 1980 Boston Marathon, where a female runner was declared the winner. What happened next was a scandal that shook the world of sports and became a cautionary tale for athletes everywhere. The woman we are talking about, named Rosie Ruiz, who was born in Havana, Cuba on June 21, 1953. She grew up in a country and had to live with various relatives in Hollywood, Florida. But running was not yet a part of Ruiz's life. It wasn't until she moved to New York City in the late 1970s that she began to take an interest in the sport. She joined the New York Road Runners Club and started participating in local races. It was there that she met her future husband, who was also a runner. Ruiz's dedication to running was apparent from the beginning. She trained relentlessly and even participated in the New York City Marathon in 1979. Although she didn't finish the race, she was determined to try again. And so, she set her sights on the 1980 Boston Marathon, where she would make headlines for all the wrong reasons. In fact, Ruiz's journey to the Boston Marathon began with her qualifying for the New York City Marathon in 1979, where she ran a time of 2 hours 56 minutes 29 seconds, an impressive feat for any runner. This performance earned her an opportunity to compete in the Boston Marathon, and she took full advantage of it, in more ways than one. Ruiz's application for the New York City Marathon was submitted after the cutoff date for the race, but she was given special dispensation due to her claim that she was dying of brain cancer. This may have been a red flag for some, but at the time, it was enough to convince the New York Road Runners to grant her a spot in the race. Now let's visit our title city where the scandal took place, Boston. The Boston Marathon attracts elite runners from all corners of the globe, all competing to be crowned the champion. The 1980 Boston Marathon was no exception. It was a hotly contested race, with the female category winner finishing with a time that would have been the fastest in history. Her time of 2 hours 31 minutes 56 seconds was an unusual improvement of over 25 minutes from her reported time in the New York City Marathon just 6 months prior. And from right here, suspicions arise. Her performance was so remarkable that other runners, including the men's winner Bill Rogers, were left scratching their heads. They noticed that Ruiz could not recall many things that most runners know by heart, such as intervals and splits. Additionally, she was not panting or coated in sweat, and her thighs were less lean and muscular than expected for a world-class runner. As the race progressed, more and more people became dubious of Ruiz's performance, and some female competitors thought it was odd that she did not mention the students of Wellesley College, who traditionally cheer loudly for the first female runners as they passed the campus. Most seriously, no other runners could recall seeing her. Jacqueline Giraud was told that she was leading the race at the 18-mile mark, while Patty Lyons was told she was second at the 17-mile mark. Ruiz could not have passed either of them without being seen. Several spotters at checkpoints throughout the course also did not remember seeing her in the first group of women. In addition, she did not appear in any pictures or video footage. It was only after 2 Harvard students reported seeing her burst out of a crowd of spectators on a Commonwealth Avenue half a mile from the finish. As it turned out, she had cheated her way to victory. She had jumped onto the course about half a mile before the finish line, joining the race just in time to cross the finish line with the other runners. This was not the first time she had cheated her way to the top. She had previously been disqualified from the New York City Marathon for the same offense. Later that week, the Boston Athletic Association, BAA, disqualified her from the Boston Marathon too. Moreover, Giraud was declared the female winner with a time of 2 hours 34 minutes 28 seconds. At the time, the fastest recorded for a woman in the Boston Marathon. After that scandal, Rosie Ruiz's life took a dark turn. In 1982, she was arrested for embezzling $60,000 from a real estate company where she worked. Despite spending a week in jail and being sentenced to 5 years probation, just a year later she was arrested again, this time for her involvement in a cocaine deal. She was sentenced to 3 years probation, adding to her growing list of legal woes. But even in her later years, Rosie Ruiz continued to maintain that she had run the entire 1980 Boston Marathon. However, an acquaintance named Steve Merrick claimed that she had admitted to him just months after the race that she had cheated. According to Merrick, Rosie had jumped out of the crowd, not realizing that the first woman hadn't gone by yet. He claimed that she was as shocked as anyone when she crossed the finish line first.